I have a very stupid idea to break Nim's Dice record of 14 summits in 6 months.
What?
Yeah, it's a very stupid idea, but yeah, we are allowed to dream.
And you've declared it here. What's up, hikers and mountaineers? Welcome back to another episode of the Baada Summit podcast. My name is Kiprono Letting, the host. And today we have one of the craziest people I think I know.
Not very true.
You know, there are hikers, and then there are mountaineers, and then there are ultra runners. So now today we have an ultra runner and Limo Kipkemoi. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
So I was reading your IG bio.
Mm-hmm.
So you're an architect by profession.
Yes.
See that you do these runs like...
Running is purely a hobby. It's a hobby. It's to get out there and detox.
So you're architect, trail runner. You're part of the altitude cartel.
That name was coined by Sadiq Shaban.
Yeah.
I think when he met him when doing one of the challenges. Yeah, I love that name, Altitude Cartel.
And you're also the Salomon Kenya brand ambassador.
Yes, I'm the Salomon Kenya brand ambassador. Second year now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they enabled me to do these crazy things.
So like what's like most intriguing about me is like the kind of challenges you do.
Mm-hmm.
For example, like, you know, hikers, I feel like we're just normal people. You know, we just walk, climb a mountain. I mean, that's already hard enough. And then there's you that does like, for example, like the summit to summit challenge.
Yeah.
The insane challenges, like summit challenge. That was like you're doing Kilimanjaro. No, you climb Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
You summited it one day.
Yeah. Then
you descend and then run all the way back.
To Mount Kenya.
And you run to Mount Kenya.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. So before we start, like, how was your journey been? Like, what inspired you to start running or climbing mountains?
So I think I've been sporty my high school life I've been sporty. Primary, no, I was like a chubby kid, so I couldn't play any sport. I think I only attempted football, but I could only be a goalkeeper. At least surface area ilikuwa sufficient.
As a keeper.
I could prevent some balls. But again, owing to where I grew up in Iten. So it's either you go to school or you run.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was one of those quite a bright kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't focus on sports. So my focus was on academics. But when I went to high school, played hockey since Form 1 to Form 4.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the runners-up in the nationals in hockey. And then after high school, I joined JQuat. My reason for actually joining JQuat was they had the best hockey team in the country. I think that time they were the only team that had beaten armed forces, which was they were like the African champs.
Mm-hmm. So
that was my motivation to go to JQuat. So I played hockey in JQuat for 6 years in school. Then joined Wazalendo Hockey Club. I still played in the Premier League. Then at some point when I started working, as a pesa, I started skipping training and then started ballooning.
Mm-hmm.
So I needed something extra off the playing time to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
I think running was the easiest way out. So I used to do like, at that time, even 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers, so hard for me. Then I did it because I was like 86 kilos. So did some running a few times, 30 kilometers a week, and brought down my weight to a comfortable weight.
Mm-hmm. What do you weigh right now?
Well, I don't... It doesn't go down as much. I'm 76.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'd come down to, I think, 69 when I was doing the counties. I think I was suffering a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Too much running. Yeah, so that's how my journey started. And then one day, there was an Alliance Classic run. I ran in my former high school to support needy kids. So a friend of mine, Elvis Hamala, just told me, let's go and support the school. So I went, did my first 21 kilometer. Yeah, it was pretty hard. And then after that, I met Peter Muya, Chicharito, and then joined Medal Hunters, and that was it. And then the first time, then I went to Ginger for a run, a 25-kilometer run. Then there was someone doing 50 kilometers, actually 2 guys. Remember, there was a white guy, I can't remember his name, and there's a guy, I think it's called Alex. So after the run, I really I sought him after the run. Like, why would you do 50 kilometers? Then how do you even do 50 kilometers? It just looked so remote. And along there, someone told me, there's a club in Nairobi called Ultra Runners, some crazy guys who do long runs. And my interest for ultra started. And that's
So you start by running, and then the switch now to mountains.
Yeah, so the switch to mountains was purely by accident.
Mm.
That was when I was doing the counties. So I invited this guy, my friend.
And these counties too are the 47 ultras in 47 counties.
Yes, 47 ultras in 47 counties.
Mm-hmm.
I started when COVID started. I think I
Mm-hmm.
was just bored. I needed something exciting. So I used to invite guys to join me.
Mm-hmm.
So I happened to invite Muhia to run Nyandarua County. So we did a run in Baada's forest. Then at some point, we were told there are elephants ahead, so we can't go beyond that point. So to turn back, but hatukuwa tumefika an ultra, we were like at 40 kilometers. Then Muhia
Ultra is over 42 kilometers.
Over 42 kilometers.
Mm-hmm.
Then Muhia is like, wait, we can actually, if we run up and down Elephant Hill,
Mm-hmm.
we'll be at about 70 kilometers, so let's go. Yeah, that was my first time running up a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, rookie. Well, I don't know, Muhia set me up for that.
Mm-hmm.
We forgot that the mountain, there's no food, there's no kiosk, so we had to suffer.
What year was that?
That's 2019.
2019. And
Yeah, so we did easy.
Mm-hmm.
It was quite an easy. Like, let me say it was enjoyable.
Oh, so Elephant Hill is an easy hike for you.
Not so bad. Yeah, so after that we did up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Then 2 months later, Muhia is like, let me introduce you to Mount Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
So we did a Mount Kenya one day run. That was tough.
Mm-hmm.
Going up was easy, like moderate, and then coming down altitude decided to pound me properly.
You know, people like for Mount Kenya, they do it like they prepare, ama you go camp.
No, I didn't. Muhia is just like, Saturday, Nanda Mount Kenya, let's go. You just left Nairobi in the morning by 8. We were at Old Moses. Geared up and then went up.
Evo too?
Evo too.
Mm.
Yeah. Kajipata summit, then coming down, I really suffered.
Mm.
That's the first time I think I was in tears because my head was just pounding. To the point, I told Muhia, you just go, get me meds, I'll just walk. Nilikuwa nimechoka mpaka. Like, I remember I was pocketing, and at some point I fell and I couldn't even hold myself. Like, I fell with my face into the mud. I didn't even care. That's how tired I was.
Lakini lazima ujiamini sana.
Yeah, kujiamini pia iko. Okay, kujichocha.
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 Because now that was your first time, and then you're like, so I'll just do it like a one-day thing.
Yeah, and we did in some impressive time. I think about 9 hours. We were up and down.
Which route?
Sirimon.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I think after that, wow, I love the mountains. So imekuwa tu hivyo tu, going and going and going.
So there are two main things I'd like to talk about like today.
Mm-hmm.
It's your summit to summit challenge, the one for Kili to Mount Kenya, and the 5 mountains in 7 days. So like summit to summit, because now that's something like I've never heard of. I don't know if anyone has done it before. Has anyone done it before you?
There's some, I think in the olden days, I read somewhere that there's some 2 white guys who did it, but Wally, I think they summited Kili and then drove to Mount Kenya and then summited in a day or within 24 hours. But I read that after I did the summit.
Okay.
But I think summit to summit, after finishing the counties, I was like, okay, then what's in there for me? Maybe I retire. And I was like, okay, let me look for something different. Then what Cheria to me, this crazy idea, 24-hour Mount Kenya. Then we did that. After that, I think the mountain just started opening up. Many guys started attempting going up Mount Kenya in a day.
Yeah.
And I think thanks to those pioneers, I think in Cheriot, Victor,
yourself,
Kevin. Now me, I'm a late comer. Nilikuja kama washaanza. So after the counties, I didn't have anything exciting to do. And remember, I started doing mountains when I was in the middle of doing the counties. So I fell in love with the mountains along the way. So when I finished the counties, I was like, okay, let me attempt the mountains. So Summit just to give me something challenging after the counties, because I thought, now what's bigger than the counties? Having covered all the 47 counties, I just need something challenging, more challenging. Yeah, that's how Summit happened.
Summit climb Kili
So
in
ilikuwa-
one day.
So the idea was,
Uh,
first ilikuwa climb Kenya, then run all the way to TZ. Okay, in my head, ni downhill going towards Kili. I don't know if it's true geographically. It's in my head. Then I thought it's easier. Like unateremka kwenda Kilimanjaro. Then along the way, I was like, okay, if worse comes to worse and I need to turn back, I'd rather be on the Kenyan side.
Yeah.
Kwa rahisi kuja nyumbani. Like maybe start with Kili. Then I think I spoke with Steve Maikweki of Red Bull. He's like, well, start the other way around from Kili to Kenya. It's easier to get guys supporting you when you're running on your home side. Yeah, that's how I reversed the route. Of course, Salomon really supported me. All gear, courtesy of Salomon, and also some support along the way. So it was meant to be, we were meant to be two. Actually, Freeman was supposed to join me. Then his mom fell ill some days before the run. Yeah, so he joined me like in the third day to the second last day.
Yeah, so you conceived this idea. How many days had you planned?
No, first I thought about it, and I think I shared with some friends. And of course, people just laugh. Hata ujui mwenyewe kama inaweza fanyika. I remember, before that, I had attempted summit in Kili twice. And never got to...
Attempted?
Yes.
Okay.
The first time, I got to almost Stella Point. Then one of the team members got hypothermia, so we had to turn back. Second time, I got lost in snow with Freeman and the guide for 6 hours in snow. And we just, karibu tu na Uhuru, we just kept moving in circles, but we never got it.
6 hours.
Yeah, from 7 to, we were getting back on course at about midnight. Yeah, that was scary. But we managed to stick together. So ilikuwa 2 times on Kili, never got into Uhuru. So summit to summit was actually another chance now, like a third attempt.
To summit to Uhuru.
Yeah.
Okay.
And luckily it happened.
Like how does one prepare for it? Let's say if someone wants to do it, like...
I don't know. I think first you have to be mentally fit. Yeah. If you ask me, physically I was not fit. Yeah, I was not fit for that challenge.
Yeah, I read a post of the summit to summit. You said you're 65% fit.
Yeah, I was not fit, but I was ready mentally. Because at some point, I was not doing so much running. Nilienda Mount Kenya a couple of times. I think there's a time I went to Kenya, then started from Shipton to the summit, down to Makindas, back to the summit, down to Mintos, back to the summit. Just staying above 4,000 meters, just to prepare myself. Yeah, so I did that a couple of times, Gong a couple of times, Elephant Hill. But again, ile tu najiambia, I'm just trying my best, but you know what's ahead, no one knows. Because again, and then you can't ask anyone because no one has ever done it.
Yeah.
There was only one guy who's done from Mombasa to Kilimanjaro. So I read a bit of his story, but again, I couldn't match it to this. So ilikuwa tu, you go, show up, whatever happens. Kwani what's the worst? The worst is you just stop or DNF and come back home.
How do you feel about DNFing?
Sometimes I accept, sometimes I don't take it lightly. But summit to summit, for some reason, I'd say I think mentally I was just
to finish.
Yeah.
Cha muhimu.
I was ready. Yeah, cha muhimu. 2 summits within 8 days. But I think actually what powered me the first day, I was with James Muhia. The first day was just a bad day. Going there, when I missed my flight to Kili, so I had to make quick plans and go via road to Moshi. When I got there, I was sharing a room with James. James alikuwa ametoka mlima, and you remember he had lost his fingers at Amadabla.
Yeah.
And of course, I used to laugh at him that you have no fingers anymore.
You laugh at him?
Well, because, he loses fingers and he'll go back. You can't help him, really. So that day, I actually saw his fingers for the first time, like his chopped fingers. Then I asked myself, if this guy has no fingers and is willing to come and accompany me, then I'm not fit, but I'm 100%, like, mwili komzima, then I have to get the summit. I think that just spurred me that moment, because when we left, we had 2 running guides. And I think at kilometer 9, I just left them. Yeah, and they were never to see me again. Yeah, and I actually did a solo summit at about 5:30 in the evening. So along the way alikuwa naambia na guides, huyu jamaa shaenda hawezi patana naye.
So what was guiding you as you're going up Kili?
Well, Kili is quite defined. I have a GPS watch, but I think Kili is, if there's daylight, you can easily get your way to the summit. Yeah. So I did a quick dash, and by evening I was coming back. So I met them on my way down. Yeah, and so you can imagine doing Kili, and then usually you rest, like unajua,
like
you need to celebrate.
People.
Yeah, you need to celebrate your summit. But here I am. I need to cover 81 kilometers the following day, from Moshi to, which town was that?
Kimana.
To Kimana. Yeah.
So day 1 finish Kili.
Yeah, so I'd planned the journey quite elaborate. So day 1 was up and down Kili. Day 2 was from Marangu to Kimana. Day 3 was Kimana to Emali. Day 4 was Emali to Machakos. Day 5 was Machakos to Ngoliba. Day 6 was Ngoliba to, what was that? I think it was to Sagana or something. Then day 7 was Sagana to, to Sagana, then Ngoliba, then Sagana to Narumoru, and the last day summit Mount Kenya and down via Nanyuki.
That requires a lot of support. Or how especially like you're running on the road.
I'd envisioned a solo run, a self-support. But luckily, Salomon were doing the documentary, so they're recording. So I got a lot of help from Salomon team, Sandra and her friend. And then day 3, of course.
So they're driving, following you.
Yeah, because they were recording, so I would get some help from them in need of hydration and all those things. But I was ready for, like, I'd packed for 7 days. Yeah. But again, I'm a minimalist, so hakuna nguo mingi, just carry enough for what you're wearing and a clean one in the bag. So where you sleep, you wash your clothes. By kesho asubuhi zimekauka, you pack them. Hivyo. Yeah, I was not keen on having too much baggage. And then shoes.
What about food?
Food, unakula kwa barabara tu.
Kama nini?
Dondo, mchele.
Yeah.
Food, I was just doing normal food on the road.
Snacks.
Yeah, whatever I get. If I get fruits, nakula. I'm not big on, I've not mastered my body so much. Mi bora nimeshiba. Naogopa njaa. Yeah, so long as I'm full, I'm good to go. But again, I had made so many mistakes on that journey. I think day 2, I forgot to carry my Arimis, and I paid heavily for it.
What happened?
I was friction burns between my legs.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I got to Emali, when I got to Loitoktok, I realized I was just paining a lot. Yeah, then I forgot to carry Tanzanian currency when I was in Tanzania, so I couldn't purchase anything along the way. I got some help from George and his wife when I was coming. I met them there, moving somewhere in Tanzania. So that day, day 2 was kind to me. At least nilifika. At some point I wanted to stop at Oloitoktok, but hapana. Nikaona Oloitoktok Kimani is about 20 kilometers. So if I sleep in Oloitoktok means the following day I need to cover 100 kilometers. I was going to cover 100. Yeah, so it gave me a push. I go to Kimana. Kimana, got into a nice hotel. Then from Kimana to Emali. Of course, I didn't get to Emali. Yeah, I burnt out. I was joined by my friend Sarah.
So you're just sleeping like in lodges?
Yeah, there was no plan. Penye usiku itafika.
Yeah.
I just look for a resort or a lodge and just the roadside.
Then you have to wash your clothes.
Yeah, wash your clothes. I wash my clothes. Sleep. Wake up in the morning and repeat.
Oh my God, like how do you even recover like that evening?
I could recover. It's not in the vocabulary that time.
So you're like in pain.
But now, ukifikiria what you need to do tomorrow, I think the pain becomes secondary. Yeah. It's not, it doesn't bother you. But I suffered the 3rd day because from Kimana, again, it's a very lonely road. If you've driven to the border, you could run for like 5 minutes and there's no car. Then I was really in so much pain. And then after Mashuru, I made mistakes. Like I forgot to buy batteries for my torch, my headlamp. So at some point I realized actually I don't have batteries. Then those shops don't have batteries for that, the AAA batteries. So I had to buy those tiny torch to carry in my hand. And then darkness ikanipata before I get to Yamali. So I figured out I need to look for a place to sleep. The only place I could find, I saw some lights and I was like, oh, there's a resort here. I was happy to get into a place. And I get in there, like there's only one room left. Okay, sour, I'll sleep there. Then I think we'll need trick into it, come to think of it. So there's one room and there's no water, so I can't even shower. So someone has to bring water in a basin, which was okay. And then I'm like, I need food. Wakaniambia, hapa tunapikanga nyama peke yake and there's no meat until tomorrow. I'm wondering, I haven't eaten the whole afternoon. I need food. I have a journey tomorrow. I'm like, what's available? Wakanipea maziwa na mkate. Like, okay, the hospitality was a bit on the low. I think that waiter just brought the mkate ikiwa mzima in its pack and milk, no straw, no cup. Yeah, but just pissed. I took 2 slices of bread and slept. By 5 I was out because like I need to get to Mali to have breakfast. Then luckily I was joined by Freeman that day. Then I could push the rest. Then day 3 again, rookie mistakes. So you had to run along Mombasa Road down to Kidimani, I think, and then go to Machakos. But I decided, we need to go off-road. So tukakata mashortcut huko. Then we found ourselves about 80 kilometers off Machakos. And we've covered already about 78 kilometers. Yeah, so we had to get back on track. Then I think after that night it was easy. Day 4, joined by my friend Nyaruai. Then she came with some medication for my scars.
Because of Noah Remis.
Yeah. Like nowadays when I'm packing, that's like first things you put in your bag. You ingia ndani kwanza.
Do you think you'd have done it like without support, or support is necessary?
I would, but support makes it easy, especially when you have someone to run along with. It's much easier. Yeah, I did so many ukarabati that day to get going. I had to use ladies' pads came in handy that day.
Ladies what?
Yeah. Sorry to say so.
I have many questions about that, but
yeah, but I respect those things. They came in really handy that day. Again, nilikuwa shy. I couldn't purchase them. So thanks to Sandra, she's on me went to the shop to buy them. Yeah, but they helped.
So kafika Mount Kenya, Kili to Mount Kenya, those are how many kilometers?
About 497. Well, give and take, because sometimes you pause your watch and forget. I think it was 500.
Yeah.
Of course, my watch gave a wrong recording because something happened in the second last day. When I was with Freeman and Muhia, Freeman lost his mom on the last... No, just somewhere after Karatina. His mom had been hospitalized. Actually, he was joined me for the whole journey. But when that happened, I think in that confusion, I stopped my watch instead of pausing. Yeah, so I had to patch the 2 runs. Well, of course, a sad moment because he had to drop out. Yeah, but now I had to push on with Muhia. Yeah, but it was amazing.
So once you day 8, you reach Mount
Kenya. Day 8. So the last day we spent at, I think, Narumoru River Lodge, if I'm not wrong.
It's
somewhere
nice
around there. And then Vivian had promised to push me to the summit. So that day nikamwandikia text jioni, like, you need to be here. Then Victor came through. So it was me, Victor, James. Yeah, we were 4 of us. Well, Vivian is a very strong hiker. So he's really pushing. At some point, we were actually struggling to catch up with her. But that day I was just sore. The last day, 8 days, and my muscle was just paining. Like, hata nikijishika nilikuwa nasikia tu chungu kila mahali. But again, when you wake up in the morning and you're seeing the mountain, there's no turning back. You just have to get there. Then luckily I was with Victor. So when you go to the gate, Victor pushed me. Yeah, Victor really pushed me. But so I told him, if you can get to the summit before dark, the better for me. Yeah. So I really pushed, and by I think 3 we are at the summit.
3 p.m.
Yeah. But the worst thing is tulianzia so far from the gate, so I had to do a lot of kilometers before I could get to the KWS gate, which was a good thing. So and then luckily that was just a good day. Mount Kenya was not so cold. Okay, I don't know if it was so cold ama ilikuwa tu adrenaline. The first time I summited in a t-shirt.
In a t-shirt.
Yeah.
T-shirt na shorts.
Of course.
Kwanza kuna tabia ingine mbaya kuvaa shorts. Then we'll come to that.
Yeah, and then I think when I got down to Sirimon, a clique of my friends had come to support me. It was just a joy. Like you sit down and you're like, did that really happen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was quite a humbling moment.
Wow. So the whole thing was 8 days.
8 days, but I actually think you can do it in less days.
Who will do it?
If you're planning. I'm leaving it to you guys. Let the next guy do it. Mimi nishafanya.
Hey, ultra runners, you guys are like on another level.
If you plan it properly, I think if you plus if you enter Kili from Rongai, you don't have to go there to Marangu. You can actually shorten the distance by maybe another 50 or so kilometers. So I actually think it's doable in less days. If I'm ever to repeat it, I would want to do it non-stop, like day and night. Maybe now in 4 days.
4 days.
Yeah, I think it's possible.
And you have a documentary about it.
Yeah, Salomon did a nice documentary. But funny thing is, every time I watch that thing, I feel pain. Like nasikia pain narudi kwa miguu. Yeah, that thing was painful. Yeah, by the time I was getting the last day, I was in pain.
Wow, I can imagine like the knees or something.
Muscles actually, not knees. Muscles.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you do to recover?
Just chill.
Yeah.
A little beer. Yeah, so yeah, I took some days.
No, nothing.
No, I just went to these soft life massage. Yeah, I went to Serenity for some massage. But I've never done physio before. Perhaps I need to do it, but I've never done it. So
interesting.
I just recovered somehow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now this idea for 5 mountains in 7 days. And the 5 mountains is Mount Kenya.
It was Rwenzori, Virunga, Kenya, Kili, Meru. That was just a wild idea.
It's
really wild.
wild.
So initially, it was actually to be in my head that time. It was to be an appreciation climb. So I told these guys, why not do a climb with our spouses? Like kila mtu akuja na mtu wake. So us guys will climb, but the ladies will just, or the men, whichever now. Because there was Rosemary, who was part of the deal. Like your spouse will come just to joyride and have fun as you guys struggle to climb. So initially it was mountains and girls. But then Rosemary joined and was like, it should be mountains and spouses. And I was like, this is just giving guys too much pressure. 5 mountains in 7 days. So I'd never been to... So I reached out to Freeman. Before I could even finish explaining what it is like, I mean... Of course, Muya again, before he finished the story, like, me, I mean. Yeah, so 2 of us. No, 2 more guys. Then Rosemary was like, I've been planning something similar to that. But not as a challenge, because Rosemary is a hiker. She's not a runner. So logistics would have been very difficult, but we had come up with a plan. But unfortunately, I think the weekend before the challenge, she had a family commitment, which she couldn't miss. So she had to stay out on that. So the idea was simple. Climb, move to the next one, climb, move to the next one, climb, move to the next one.
The most surprising is like Rwenzori. Like you really believe to do it in 1 day.
Honestly, I didn't know it's possible because I'd never been to. So the initial plan was Rwenzori, Elgon, Kenya, Meru, Kili. Then Freeman is like, Virunga is more beautiful. Let's go to Virunga. Because again, it's on the border of, because I think it borders Rwanda, Congo, and Uganda. Or Uganda and Rwanda. It's like, so it was more enticing because Virunga is like 3 ranges. So like, we'll do all the 3 of them. Of course, we didn't do them. Plans changed.
So wait, so day one?
So day one was, so when we see when I was sharing the time, like the timelines, I had given Rwenzori 1 day, 24 hours, and then I'd given a backup day for Rwenzori. Like if things go wrong, we have a whole day. But fortunately, we managed to do it in less than 24 hours.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was nice. But again, there was so much drama that day. So we got there, and Freeman had communicated to these guys that we'll start at 5 in the morning. So for some reason, those guys understood 5 in the evening. So we've gotten there.
The guides.
We've done our briefing. We are ready. And then the guy, so we're going to sleep. And then Freeman gets a call. And the guy's like, we need to have an emergency meeting. It's not 5 a.m. in the morning. It's 5 p.m. in the evening. So I'm like, hell no. We have 5 mountains to do. So we can't, like, time-wise, we can't change plans. Then they're really convinced, and they're like, no, it's not possible again. No one has ever done it in such a short time, so it's not possible. They tried complicating it. They're like, no, us guys have to go. So we had to start actually that evening, 5 p.m. Go up and be done by the following day. So now we had to strike a compromise. We'll do at 5 in the morning. I think that was a blessing in disguise, because personally, when I got there, my legs were so swollen. My shoes couldn't fit.
Swollen from?
Travel. You know, we left Nairobi on Thursday evening. Was it on Thursday or Friday? Can't remember. But I left here in Nairobi in the morning, picked via Modern Coast, picked Muhia in Nakuru. So that means you're getting to Kampala the following day in the morning, and then drive. We had a driver to Rwenzori. So basically, on 24 hours, you've been on the move.
Yeah.
No sleep.
Yeah.
And then get there and straight go to the mountain. So that confusion gave us room to at least take some, like, 4 hours, 3 hours of sleep, some good sleep.
Like when you're telling the Rwenzori guy, I want to climb this mountain up and down in one
So they
day.
couldn't believe. But again, the guide was really, he had some faith. So he had his guides stationed in every base camp. So kulikuwa na watu wa kwanza at the gate. So you had 2 guys at the gate pushing us the first. Nyamitaba. Then the second bunch pick us from Nyamitaba, push us to John Mart. Then from John Mart, push us to, what's the name of that camp? Bujuku. Then from Bujuku, push us to that small lake. Elena. Then from Elena now, we had 2 guys pushing us to Margarita.
Oh, so those are like 10 guides.
Yeah, we had a bunch of guides. But you see, us guys carry our own things. It's self-support. So you don't carry anything for us.
Okay.
We just need you for direction and emergency.
Yeah.
We carry all our food stuff. Actually, they are surprised because they'd be like, we need to cook lunch for you. Now, actually, the first guy I approached, an experienced Ugandan tour guide, I'm like, I'm coming to Uganda to do Rwenzori in a day. That guy actually laughed so hard and actually told me, let me hang up first and finish laughing, then I call you back. Like, it's impossible. Yeah, then we haggled, and then he actually said it's impossible. So I'm not part of it. I'm not willing to risk my life. I'm not doing it. So we had now to get a second guy who, like, okay, if it doesn't go proper, let me give you guides enough for anything that happens.
Yes.
Yeah, but luckily, I think we were strong. And then they were surprised, like, because they're like, oh, we're going to cook uji, soup, ugali. Like, what for? Us guys have everything we need. Yeah, then they're like, you need to have gumboots.
Yeah.
I think it's a common thing in Rwenzori, yeah?
Yeah, you only wear like hiking boots going to the summit.
So us guys were like, we don't need gumboots. So like myself, I had 2 pairs of shoes. I'll have 1 pair. I had a speed cross, and then.
So 1 pair, it can get wet.
Like I'd get 1 pair, it gets wet, then I use one for the summit. But I didn't even have to. I didn't change my shoes. I just used 1 pair the whole journey. No one changed shoes. Yeah. But again, and then it could. So the guys were strong because now you know them. They were well rested.
Yeah.
And then they have some interesting rangers there. Used to make calls like "Wamefika." That's what they used to use, which was really hilarious. So they'd call the next camp that they're coming. Then we get there, they're ready for us, ready to move. Then when you go to Elena, then the guide was like, well, where's your trouser? I'm like, I'm going up in shorts.
No, it's actually Irene Lake, not
Irene Lake. Yeah, Irene Lake.
Yeah.
So you go to Irene, the guide is like, where are your trousers? I'm like, me, I'm okay, I'm ready. Then he couldn't believe. So, and he actually was hesitant. Yeah, at some point he's like, I think I will give you my trousers. I'm like, no, me, I'm okay. Yeah, I think I enjoy my shorts.
So you reached now Irene, then you wear the harness.
It was a beautiful experience. I've never worn those things.
Yeah.
I've never, what do you call it? Crampons?
Crampons,
yeah. It feels like you're a baby learning to walk.
Yeah.
It's quite neat. I think Muya was the only experienced guy because Muya has been to the high mountains.
Yeah.
Freeman, myself, no. But luckily Freeman and Muya had summited Rwenzori before.
Mm.
So to me, it was my first time.
Mm.
For them, it was like second or third time.
Mm.
So I was the only greenhorn. Yeah, but we did a quick dash.
And how did you find it, like, after wearing, like, the crampons and the harness?
Well, it was funny first
the
because you
rock-
feel like, oh, you're going
Yeah.
to fall and roll down.
Mm.
Yeah, then with an ice axe, and you just...
You all tethered to each other.
It was interesting. I'll
Mm.
just say it was an interesting experience. And then before that, I tried watching, because at some point I was like, wait, I actually don't know what Rwenzori is all about.
Mm.
So I tried going to YouTube, checking what guys do.
Mm.
There's very little information about Rwenzori. Some guys have tried documenting, but it's not as intense or as detailed.
Mm.
So Nile, you just go. Whatever you meet, you meet.
And then you managed gate to summit. How many hours?
Back, I think it was 22 and a half hours.
Oh, it gate to summit alone.
Get to summit we did in 11 hours, 51 minutes.
That's unheard of.
Yeah, I think everyone was so excited. I still remember Muya dancing to some
Like-
imaginary music at the summit. It was interesting.
That's
But even those guys were impressed. Like the
Yeah.
guys were impressed, and that we could push that hard.
So gate to summit 11 hours and then down 22 hours.
Down, yeah, we had 22 hours. I think going down, we didn't have any motivation anyway.
The Rwenzori in one day.
Rwenzori in one
It
day.
still baffles me.
Yeah, let's just go down. But it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's very
I must
beautiful.
admit, I think I would want to go back, just take it easy and
As a hike,
enjoy.
a normal 8 days. Because I was there, I did
No,
8 days.
I don't think I can be on the mountain
Can
for
do-
8 days. Perhaps
I
I just
mean,
carry my
uchukue
own gear.
picture.
No, maybe I'll just carry my own gear.
Uh,
Nikichoka, I camp, pack my things and proceed. But I don't see myself being there for 8 days.
now ukivaa shorts, like, kwanza Rwenzori, though, it's cold. You don't feel cold. Like, you're wearing shorts and you don't even wear, like, thermals, like thermal pants.
Well, my legs don't feel cold.
Mm.
Yeah. What-
You for too?
Well, okay, let me put it this way.
Mm.
It doesn't cross my mind that I'm wearing a short. Maybe I should be feeling cold,
Mhm.
so it doesn't cross my mind.
So you'd rather wear down jacket up at you?
Yeah, so
or
long as I'm
shorts?
warm,
Yeah.
the upper body is warm, I'm okay. But again, you need to know your body.
Mm.
So for me, I always carry waterproof gear
Mhm.
in my bag in case of anything. I can just pull them down. Like when I told you when you got lost at Kili for 6 hours in snow.
Mhm.
It's actually the waterproof jacket that saved me because I had to pull it, wear it, and that's how you survived.
Well,
Yeah. So I
Intense.
have them for emergency,
mm.
but yeah, I don't mind the cold. But I've seen someone summit Everest in shorts.
Someone has submitted Everest in
I
shorts.
think, yeah. I saw a video on YouTube. Yeah, so I think it's
It's a
possible.
tough to hear.
I think
I'm
you
sure
make
you
it
do that.
Maybe.
So day one, Rwenzori done.
Day
Day
two, we
two.
need to cross over to Virunga. The plan was to do the 3 ranges:
Yeah.
Mgahinga. I've forgotten the other names.
Muhabura.
I said Mgahinga, Muhabura,
Mhm.
and
Sabinio.
Sabino.
Mm.
Then unfortunately, again miscalculation. That journey was so long. Like we left at Rwenzori in the morning, and we got to Virunga at about perhaps 10 in the night.
Oh,
So
it's a
far, like a
whole
500
day.
kilometers, a whole day journey.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so then we were tired, of course, tired legs. You know,
Yeah.
after doing Rwenzori in less than 24 hours, our legs just couldn't. And then, Mgahinga is just like, it's like a cone, a very tall cone.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the guy was mapping, it was just lazy. Like, oh, okay, you want to get the top? Shortest distance, you just go straight. Because it feels like you just start
Yeah.
and then summit attack. There's no
See
detour and
Yeah, the normal
go
trail.
straight, yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's like just one cone. But it's interesting because it's taxing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's beautiful. And
It's steep.
it's steep. And then there was a landslide that before that, like 2 weeks before that.
Mm-hmm.
It actually killed guys. So some
Right.
parts, some sections of the
Hikers?
trail. No, villagers, because there's a landslide coming up from the mountain.
Mm.
It swept the villages, Ukochini. So some sections you had to meander. Muya was a victim. I remember when you're coming down, seeing Muya somewhere down Uko.
Ali slide.
Ali slide.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, of course, so long as you're not injured, we laugh at you, so it's okay. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
you're like, kosa.
uko sawa? Yeah, you're okay. Then you simama tuendelee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so day one was okay. Yeah.
So day one
Rwenzori,
was
then day two
Rwenzori,
is just
day two.
The
And
drive.
then day 3 now, so day 2 was the drive.
Yeah. Then day 3 is now the climb.
Day 3 was the
Muhabura.
climb.
Mm.
So it saved a day. Because,
Mm.
we had apportioned 2 days for Rwenzori.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that day helped us. Then now the third day was actually a whole drive. Because you're from now, Virunga to Kampala, which was like, I think we did about 1,600 kilometers to get to Mount Kenya. So it was now, we leave Virunga. Luckily, we had a Freeman's friend had given us her car and a driver. So at least we were safe.
Mm.
So we drove from Virunga to Kampala.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Kampala. Our good friend Loti gave us a place to freshen up.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to Kampala at some late hours of the night. I think 1 a.m. in the morning. Like took like 2 hours nap, some hot tea, and then in the morning off. Then again, rookie mistakes. So the initial plan was we get a vehicle to wait for us at the border.
Mm-hmm.
So you just use public means from Kampala to the border. Then from the border, I picked straight to Mount Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, you're like, it's not necessary. We can actually get public means from the border to Nakuru. Then the car can wait for us in Nakuru and we cross over to, which was the bad mistake. Because we go to the border. I think we waited for how many hours for the car to fill up? Perhaps 3 hours. Then the car leaves the border heading to Nakuru. It stops in Kakamega for another like 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, we actually had to call the driver and just come until where he meet us. He met us somewhere between Kapsabet and Eldoret.
Mm-hmm.
So we hopped into personal means.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was at night. That time should have been about 10. Then Muhia, Muhia lives in Nakuru.
Mm-hmm.
So the family had prepared some meals for us. Like, you guys pass by Nakuru, have a meal as you proceed to Mount Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we all slept. So we didn't tell
That
the
night.
driver we need to stop in Nakuru. Yeah, I think the first guy
Alipita
woke up.
the stop.
Alipita. So I think the first guy woke up tulikuwa Nyahururu. Yeah, so we
Alafu
missed food.
mnashangaa.
Yeah. And then we ran out of fuel somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
So we had to turn back to Nyeri town to fuel
Mm-hmm.
and get to Mount Kenya. So now imagine you left, like you've been on the move for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Get Mount Kenya at about 5 in the morning. Did a 1 hour nap at the gate. Then get in. No food, nothing.
Unaenda tu.
Yeah, tunaenda tu. No breakfast. I think that was the most silent mountain we climbed. Hakuna mtu alikuwa anaongea.
Safari.
Guys just quiet. And then I think the worst thing I remember is Muya's face when I think his wife sent him mandazis that she had prepared. And she's like, you missed this. I remember him saying like, you guys, can you see what we missed? No, you're so hungry, huh? Yeah, so we went up and Kinoti was kind enough to join us. He made tea for us.
Let's drift.
Yeah, let's drift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he made tea for us. That was actually kind of him.
Mm-hmm.
So he pushed with empty stomachs. I think we had only 2 packets of biscuits.
Ish.
Yeah, and he pushed the summit. Coming down. But luckily, good weather.
Mm.
So I think by 1 p.m., not 1, by 4,
Mm-hmm.
we were down at Narumoru. The driver was waiting for us. And now there's no time.
The same driver.
Yeah, same driver.
Mm-hmm.
So luckily, he dropped us at Sirimon. They told him now go to Narumoru so he can sleep and wait for us. So he had some solid hours to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to cross over via Nairobi
Mm-hmm.
to the border and then go to Meru.
Yeah. This is day what now?
That's the third day.
No, 4th day.
The fourth day.
Yeah.
That's the 4th day. Yeah, so we go to Nairobi.
Mm-hmm.
I call him my fan number 1, Sadiq Shaban.
Yeah.
Was waiting for us somewhere. He's like, I'll wait for you guys until you get here.
In Nairobi.
In Nairobi, somewhere along Mombasa Road. Yeah, so he bought a lot of food for us. Lots of food. Then our good friend from Red Bull, Mike Weki, supplied us so many Red Bulls. Hizo zilitusaidia kuvuka border peacefully.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I won't say much because I'm a Kenyan. But yeah, it was good currency.
Okay.
Yeah, so after that, that was good food. But of course, I think I was just too tired and a bit umechoka tu yani.
I bet.
Yeah, so I think at that time I was like, guys, I just need to have my drink polite before I get to...
Which drink now?
Well, I took some strong drink. No names. So when we got the border, Then the driver dropped us the border. We hired a van to Arusha. So we go to Arusha so the driver returned. No, he spent the night at the border, Namanga. He proceeded. We go to Arusha at about 4 or 5 in the morning. Then our good friend Wenz Tarime had organized for us now for the 2 mountains. So our running guide was waiting for us in Arusha. And it's also, then there was another set of guides in Moshi. So when you go to the room, we booked the room, hotel room. We're just getting in to place our bags. We hear a knock on the door. Like the guide is like, hey guys, it's time to go.
No rest, no nothing.
Yeah, we didn't even change. Like the same clothes I had on Mount Kenya, same ones I had on Meru. And I remember when we got to the gate, and I think our guide was a bit tipsy, and so guys were like, okay, will Limo even hack? Yeah, I think he had overindulged. So guys are wondering, actually, Limo is also happy. Yeah, so we set off. Our target was just to do it as fast as possible so we can get to Moshi. So about 7 in the morning, we're off. Of course, still on a very interesting guide, very talkative guy, very friendly chap. He's telling us the week before that, or the month before that, he had done a fast hike with some group. Like, this is an easy one. I'll take you guys the summit in no time. And I think after 4 kilometers, we could hear him on phone. Hey, Wensa, watu wanataka kunitoa roho bana. Yeah, I couldn't keep up. So he just waved us like, you guys go. So we go to the first camp. He had radioed like, those guys want to kill me. Just let them go. I'll wait for them. So he pushed with a guide. We had a good running guide.
Mount Meru is steep.
Mount Meru is steep. And then those stair-like trails, they are nasty on the knees. But you're doing some good times. And I think there's the little, is it called Little Meru?
Yeah, Little Meru, yeah.
So I thought that's where you're going. Yeah, and then like, no. It's the other side. Then the fall summits now begin. Yeah. Like you think you're getting there, then no, it's not the one. No, it's not the one. Then I remember when you are somewhere after the first camp, telling Freeman, I can see a mast up there. It seems like there's a communication mast. I didn't know that's where you're going. Yeah. Because I thought you're going to the Little Meru side. Yeah, it was nasty to get up there. But it has beautiful views. I think actually of the 3 mountains apart from Rwenzori, Meru should be the second most beautiful. Yeah, but it's the most challenging. And then it's a bit scary because when you're going up like along the rim, it looks like that's all is just gonna fall anytime. And utajipata kwa crater, it's like some scary drop. Yeah. But it was a beautiful mountain.
Did it in how many hours?
Was it 7 hours?
Up and down?
No, up.
Oh, up 7 hours.
Yeah. Okay. And then we didn't even have much food, but we had fries from the ones that Sadiq had given us. Kafka Kwa Summit, guys just doing crazy things as they're dancing. I think there was something called a Beyonce challenge. Muya was busy bullying us to video him doing Beyonce.
Oh, yeah, kwenda chini.
Yeah.
Atujaona hizo.
So no, I lost my phone and shared all those things. There's some really interesting footage. Freeman was busy pole dancing and that poor Lukoju. Yeah, I think I was just excited and tired. It was a dramatic evening. Then he came down straight to Moshi, the last push.
Then go to Moshi.
Yeah, and then I think... So the funny thing about Moshi is that when he got there, so he met Victor. Victor had just come down. He had done some crazy times on Kili. I think he had done like 11 hours up and down. Wow. Some insane times. So our plan was to go up Umbwe, Baranko, Barafu, and then up. But he convinced us, Aro is sweet. You guys go. Yes, direct. You'll even see my footsteps when you go up. Hamtapotea. So he convinced us to use Aro. So when you woke up, and then there was a Kili marathon run the following day. Yeah. So our plan was actually to finish the 5 summits and then run Kili marathon. And then when I woke, but everyone was tired, like evidently. Kila mtu alikuwa amechoka. So I remember in the morning, we slept for like 4 hours. Then I hear a knock on my door. It's Freeman and Muya. So apparently they're actually coming to convince me not to climb Kili. We don't have to climb Kili. 4 mountains are enough. Let's just stop it.
But that time you told everyone you're climbing all the mountains.
Yeah, then there was no turning back.
Mm.
We convinced ourselves and we left. Then that was, I think everyone was tired. But I think all I remember is Muya and his hunger. Alikuwa anataka tu chakula every time. He was like a spoiled kid.
Mm.
We go to Baranko. Yeah, Baranko is the second camp after Umbwe. Cave.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then Muya is like, if I don't get tea, I'm not going.
If you don't
I just declared, if I don't get hot tea, me, I'm not summiting. I'm going back. I just declared, I removed his radiation was like, I'm not.
Anaambia nani?
Altuambia, me, I'm not moving. If there is no tea, I'm not going. Then we had carried our rations for the whole journey. Then a guy removes all his food and eats everything. Like everything.
Mm-hmm.
So wondering, okay, what's going to happen? Then he kept going. When he got to, which camp was this? There's like a small stop before you start the Arrow.
Oh, okay.
Before you start Arrow. Muya didn't have food.
And he wants food.
And he wants food.
Mm.
It's like, if I don't get food, I'm not going.
Mm-hmm. And you have to turn back.
Yeah, we have to turn back or keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept pushing. We shared the food. Luckily, we're just sharing food. I think it was just one very strong brotherhood when we went up.
Yeah.
All those challenges, because we were just like, everything was everyone's. We were just sharing everything. Then we go to, I think at the top of, just before the summit. Muya again started.
Mm-hmm.
He's hungry. He needs food. So I think Nami had carried. We were given some really sweet pancakes
Mm-hmm.
and sausages.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd carried one sausage and pancake nikijua. This is for running down.
Mm-hmm.
I'll eat after the summit. Yeah, so I'd surrender my food to this guy.
Painful.
Yeah, painfully, he still owes me. He still owes me food.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but he got the summit in good time. Actually, before dark.
So like Umbwe get to summit how many hours?
I think about, if I'm not wrong, about 15 hours.
Okay.
No, I think less.
Mm-hmm.
About 14 hours, I think. Yeah, so he got there just at sunset. And then after that, there's like, you've done all you wanted. There's no rush. You're just coming down leisurely.
Job done.
Then it was snowing as you're coming down, so you couldn't barely run. Then I think Muya fell, Freeman fell, and the guide also fell, so we couldn't really run because guys, almost everyone was injured.
Mm.
Yeah, then you get to Barafu, and again Muya is like, if I don't get tea, I'm not going.
Still
but there was
going
no
down.
tea, yeah. Going down.
Uh-huh.
And I think I had some little ration in my bag, and Freeman also had some rations.
Mm.
Akampatia, and then we pushed pole and we happily got back to the base.
The
Yeah,
challenge
go to the
done.
hotel. Yeah, for a celebratory drink. And unfortunately, I lost my answer to check all the documents. So
What happened?
no, well, I didn't know there's this petty theft in Tanzania. So I was just standing outside the hotel to go have a drink. Then a guy just on a motorbike approached and yanked my bag and ran with it.
Mm.
Yeah.
So all the footage and everything.
Yeah, all the footage went. And we had done some really cool food. And the worst thing is, you've been on the mountains. Self-recording on the mountains is so difficult. Because you can imagine, like, you get a nice view. They tell guys, just slow down, let me run and set up the cameras, then I come back. Then you go past the cameras and you have to come back and pick the cameras and move. It's really hectic. So it was quite painful, but yeah.
At least you have the photos.
Then luckily again for that challenge that I was posting every day.
Mm.
So most of the photos are actually in the public space. And like Summit, which I think I posted everything after the challenge.
Yeah.
But I think also Summit nilikuwa naogopa kama nitamaliza.
So kamaliza Kili ulikimbia marathon?
No, so I was so disoriented,
Yeah.
because I had to, like, in the wee hours of the morning, I have to go to the police station to report, write reports and all those things.
Yeah.
So by the time I was done with the cops, it was like almost in the morning. So I just didn't have the psyche to run the marathon. I was just pissed, and then, you don't have anything. You don't have. The only thing which was left was my passport because I'd left in the hotel room. But everything else went. My phones, all the cash, cards.
Damn.
Yeah. But Freeman ran and finished for 2 kilometers.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Which was quite impressive.
Very impressive. 5 mountains, not just any mountains, but Rwenzori, Kili, Kenya, Meru.
Yeah, that was a beautiful journey. Like, I would say, if you have the energy, please do it.
Who's going to do it?
It's No, I don't know. I'm sure there's a great crazy guy out there who can attempt.
Amazing.
But it was really fulfilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like you wake up to beauty every day, different kind
Yeah.
of beauty every day, and then get people cheering you on, inspire others. It was a beautiful journey. I would repeat it anytime.
Out of all those, the mountains, which was your favorite?
Rwenzori,
Rwenzori.
Yeah.
Which was the hardest?
Virunga. I'm still pissed. I
Oh,
want to know
really?
who marked it. Like I would hunt down that guy. Like how do you just mountain then just like
Unatembea
A
tu,
to B,
and,
just draw a straight line.
kuna
mpaka juu.
zigzag.
There's no zigzag, like not even like going round. Just straight.
And which one is one probably you won't go back?
I'd go back to all except Kenya, but no, Kenya is the closest.
Oh, Kenya
which I need to
umefanya nika training ground even now.
Yeah, Kenya. I think I've done Kenya quite a number of times. Well, I started mountains. I went up Kenya for the first time in 2019, and I think since then I've been back there about 20 times. Yeah,
But
so
you've never camped.
No.
So you should now do like a proper hike now.
You challenge me to that. I will attempt one day to just
Like day one, Chogore, you just go
So
to
what will I do the rest of
Lake
the time?
Ellis, you talk to people, you take photos. Unaweza chukua kakan.
That'll be a very tough one, eh?
Uh,
I've never thought about it, but I will try.
What's tough about it? Is it the days?
I actually respect hikers, a
Yeah.
lot. I don't know how you guys can walk for a whole day.
It's not at you. We're not doing anything. See,
Still,
we're enjoying the scenery.
Kutembea,
You know, you're
it's
bonding
like,
with people.
Yeah, it's like those Kambas and the long distance slave trade. It's quite tough, man. So I respect hikers.
So unakimbia tu.
Yeah, like tufike juu. Then I think for me the thing I love about running is that you get to enjoy the different seasons of the mountains in a very short time. Because you can imagine sometimes you leave Old Moses, it's sunny. Before you get there, it's raining.
Yeah.
If you get the summit, it's snowing. I think I love that sudden change in temperatures and seasons in a short span.
Okay. And your recent challenge was the going to Longonot.
When I was a child, I was a small child, I actually planned to do it on my birthday.
When's your birthday?
It was last month. But unfortunately, I had some injury which I couldn't move much. So the plan was start from Kona Baridi, up and down Gong, and then proceed all the way to Longonot and up, round and down. But again, I didn't give it so much thought. I was like, I'm not even mapping it. You just go and find whatever you find. Yeah, so I tried and it worked out well. I didn't get to Ngong.
To Longonot.
I didn't get to Longonot, sorry. I think I lost a lot of time along the way because of bushwalking and poor planning also. Because I ran out of food and water at some point. And usually when that happens, you need to slow down so you don't burn out. Then imagine you're in the middle of nowhere. Then at some point, I think I was closer to Suswa than Longonot. Yeah.
Ungepanda tu hiyo.
Yeah, and actually at some point I was like, should I just proceed and you pan the Suswa and I forget about Longonot? But again, as you go down the escarpment, it's so beautiful that you actually, like, to hell with Longonot. I'm not even getting there. Let me just enjoy the views.
Have you been to Suswa?
No, I haven't been to Suswa.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I need to try it. But I need to explore more in this country. I think the one on my list now is Elgon. I haven't been to Elgon. But I hold Elgon in a dear place in my heart because when I grew up, Elgon was just visible from where we stayed, where we live. And my grandma always told me that that's where we came from. Like that's where our ancestors came from. So to me, Elgon has always been this sacred mountain. Yeah, so I think I will do it someday. But I want to do it in a special way.
A run, of course.
I perhaps run from Mount Kenya to Mount Elgon. That might be more interesting. But I've already
I need to get you to camp.
I've already checked it out. It's actually longer than Longonot to Kenya. It's further.
Yeah.
But I think it's more scenic. I think from...
The Uganda side, I hear it's scenic.
Plus also the traverse from Mount Kenya to Longonot to Elgon, because you're going down the Rift Valley, up, perhaps cross over to Cherangani. I think it's more beautiful.
So initially, you started running to lose weight.
Yeah, I started trying to lose weight, then I started enjoying. And I
then
think
you-
also being an architect,
Yeah.
I enjoy the outdoors. Like, well, as all architects say, like God is the best architect. So when I'm out there, I feel like now I'm seeking inspiration for my work. So I always get inspired when I'm out there in nature. And then something that people might not notice that when you're out there in these remote places, you actually see how people try to adapt to their own environments. I'll give an example. When you went with Freeman and Brian to Wajir County, the middle of nowhere, and it's so hot, like it's 43 degrees, and then you find like a small structure in the middle of nowhere, and then the guy's inside chilling and chewing cut, and you walk in and actually feel so cool, like there's AC inside the building, not building, even a structure. It's in the middle of desert. So my question is, if you get a city engineer to cool this place, perhaps he will bring a solar system and an AC unit and aircon and those things. Yeah, but these guys have a way of just using what they have to make the environments habitable or hospitable. Yeah, so it gives you actually start thinking that sometimes you need to look at the environment from a very different perspective. Yeah, so such things give me motivation, like to think out of the box. Yeah, and then just seeing people in their own element. Yeah, because you get the city and you think you need a smartphone, you need bundles, you need like in Nairobi. For you've seen when Kenya Power misbehaves for like a few hours, there's chaos. You can't charge your phones, and then you meet this guy in the middle of nowhere in Wajir, and he's so happy. He has a mulika mwizi perhaps which can take him for a whole 2 weeks when you charge it. He has his goats. He can sell his goats and take his kids to school. He has a radio. He can listen to news. Like life is so simple. And you actually start thinking, so perhaps these things we impose on ourselves are not as important as we think they are. Yeah, so you start seeing life from a different perspective.
True.
And then what you appreciate the most is that once you're on the trail or the mountain, we're all brothers.
Yeah.
Like you can come through for me, I can come through for you. It doesn't matter where you're from, male, female, black, white.
Yeah.
We all need each other.
Yeah.
So there's some closeness that comes to being out there that it's unmatched.
For sure.
Yeah.
So what are your future challenges?
I thought I'm done with these outdoors, and I saw KG Summit Everest at 62. And then I did the math. I'm like, I have almost 20 years to retire. Yeah, so I don't know.
So kuna Everest.
I have a very stupid idea.
Ya kudash.
No, to break Nim's Dice record of 14 summits in 6 months.
What?
Yeah, it's a very stupid idea, but yeah, we are allowed to dream.
And you've declared it here.
Yeah, and I hope he listens to this. Yeah, I actually think it's possible.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so in future, or in another life.
Amazing.
Yeah, but for now, I just want to get more guys being out there. Especially, well, I know these might not go well with so many of these tour companies, but I actually think Kenya, many people can do it in a day. If you're fit enough, and with a lot of training and exposure, people can. I usually do the math. If you need to go to Kenya right now with those 3 days, you need a lot of days, off days and money, and like time and money. But if you can get more guys going up the mountain, of course, having trained for it, not just freestyling. Because when you freestyle, I think you endanger everyone's life, yours and the guide.
But also even Mount Kenya, people's objectives are different. You know, you go for the lakes.
Yeah, and you've seen what Kina Victor did the other day.
The lakes
this
tour.
Thing we crafted, the lakes tour.
Yeah.
There's more on Mount Kenya than just summits.
Yeah.
So I think we need to open up those spaces for many people.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think once we are done, I think we might be doing a second trip. Well, I missed the first one because of other commitments. But I think with time we want to get a proper map of all the lakes. Then now actually guys can be like, I'm going to Kenya not for the summit.
For the lakes.
I'm doing the lakes. Kina Afro Vertical, I've been doing crazy things also in Kinabati and rock climbing. And you've seen what he's doing at Ololokwe, Kenya. Yeah, so just expanding these spaces so that many people can fit in. And I think there's more we can do.
Would you want to do Batian?
Sorry?
Batian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Batian, I think I'll do it next next season. No, when the wind opens.
Next month, June to.
Yeah,
August.
I think June I'll attempt it.
Okay.
But again, I think if possible, I would want to go up and finish all the 3 summits in like Batian, Elion, John, and Lenana in one day, if possible.
Hey, Batian, Nelion, and Lenana, one day, or plus John.
Yeah, plus John,
4,
if possible.
Huh.
Yeah, but depends, of course. I think those ones, it depends on the mood of the mountain as well. You can have all these grand plans, but it depends on what the mountain decides.
No, but I just like that audacity. I mean, to even think
Yeah,
of
you
that.
just dream. You never know.
No, Tava shots.
Most likely. I don't own outdoor trousers. That's my excuse.
Yeah, so our next segment is answering your question segment.
Okay, I hope there are no weird questions.
This is where I ask my Instagram followers if they have any question for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Question 1. And I like this one. Why?
Why not?
Why?
Why not? Why not?
What's the motivation?
I like hanging out by myself sometimes. I just being in the wild alone. There's something cool about it. There's something quiet, and then pushing your own limits. Yeah. Sometimes you never know, because I usually say, well, if I don't try, then how will I know if it's possible? Yeah, so I just have to go out there and try. Yeah.
And it's also inspiring to us, once you see, especially like ultra runners, they've been doing Mount Kenya up and down like in one day. Then you see that, you start like, is it possible for hikers? And then
guys try. Yeah. Plus, once in a while you get to inspire someone. I once in a while I get messages from these social media platforms. Yeah, someone saying that, I see what you do now. You've inspired me to get into fitness routine. And then let's face it, guys, healthcare is a challenge now to everyone. We need to be fit and healthy. And I think one of the cheapest ways to get fit and healthy is walking or running, just because you just need comfortable clothes and shoes and you can go. Unlike gym that you need membership. Just walk in your estate. If you find a school in your hood, do laps in a field. It's the cheapest way to get fit and connect with other people as well.
This one, I'll just read that. Kinyasa aje. Why is it that you wear shorts? Unaenda kusummit Rwenzori na shorts. Actually.
Actually, I've grown up with shorts all my life. Again, primary school. Then I went to high school and used to wear shorts in high school. Then I think all my campus life, except the days I used to have like formal presentations, I was always in shorts. Luckily, I work also. You can walk in shorts, so no one really cares. Yeah, but I think shorts are comfortable. And then it's little fabric. Hakuna kuosha vitu mingi.
Uski baridi?
No, I don't feel cold on my lower section. Hardly. The only time I've actually felt cold was this time when I was doing 5 summits. Because I think everyone's just tired. Then your tech stops. Because when you chill for too long, you start feeling cold. That's the only time I've come close to feeling cold. But the rest, it doesn't. I think you've seen photos of me walking on snow and in shorts. Yeah, it doesn't.
It's just that
I think it doesn't bother me. I don't think about it, so it's sifkiri. It doesn't bother me.
And then I went to summit Everest, 14 peaks na shorts.
That one I need to consult. Someone actually mentioned that it's not even healthy, but I don't know. I don't know.
Speaking of health, now this next question, how do you ensure that you're not super skinny? Because like ultra runners, they're more on the slimmer side.
One thing I really fear is getting skinny. I fret when I think about me being skinny. I love elite runners, but I just can't look like them.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you do to...
I eat a lot. But again, and I think that's the joy of what I do. So actually, like we don't all have to look a certain way to do things. We don't all have to be thin, have a certain shape. Why can't we just perform in our own bodies? Yeah. In running circles, most people call me the fat runner because I'm actually chubby for a runner, but I would still outrun you sometimes. Yeah. So I think just be comfortable in your skin and do your thing. Yeah. I think fitness doesn't necessarily mean being thin.
Yeah.
And slender.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting many shorts questions. Intrigued by that. Next one is, do you ever get injuries? Like when you're doing your challenges?
Sometimes. Hardly. Well, again, it's about learning your body. You need to know your limits. You need to really know what gets you comfortable. And I think for me, I'd break it down to first, your lifestyle. You need to know how to take care of your body. Don't drink white cup as I do. Secondly, you need comfortable gear. Especially if you want to do those long challenges that need your presence for a longer period of time, or technical trails. Get good shoes, get good clothes. And then third, weigh your options. Like know your risks. Just don't attempt things because you saw someone doing them. Yeah, know your risks. And then when you have an injury, take it easy. I know, even me, I don't do it, but yeah, you try and do it.
Like what's like the worst injury you've got?
So strangely, I haven't gotten injuries from running. My injuries are strange ones. Like I got knocked by a motorbike some time back along the bypass, and I was out for days. I've lost toenails. Toenails is not really an injury. It's a common thing. I lose toenails every time.
For a runner, it's a common thing.
Yeah, these challenges, if you're running like 100 kilometers, the chance of losing a toe somewhere along the way is quite common. I think I've gotten a condition called, is it myglobinuria before? When you run out of, you run low on salt and you start peeing some strange colors. To me, that's usually the most scary. But now I know what to do. Because when the first time it happened, I didn't know what to do.
What do you do?
You just need to take a lot of salts to get your balance back. But you see, the first time I didn't know, I actually thought maybe some parts of my stomach zimekatika.
Yeah.
So but with time, you get to learn your body. So every time I go out for a run, you come back learning something about your body. Yeah.
So like speaking on like you take like food with salts or drinks with salts.
So I think when it happened last time, I called Cheriot because I remember reading his book and he got such a condition when he was doing the Tour de Jones. Yeah, and he's like, you just need to drink a lot of water with salt.
Okay.
And I did that and it worked.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think, so most of the time if I'm doing those long runs, I'll always mix water with salt.
What's your number one food to carry, let's say, when you're doing a challenge?
Chapo, maze.
Chapo?
Yeah. Like I think if I don't get chapo, I'll throw a tantrum. I might go back I'll threaten to go back like Muhabura.
Yeah, you answered your legs don't feel cold. I mean, is there any link between your career as an architect and the outdoors?
Well, the closest link I would say is inspiration. I get inspiration from nature. If you check my social media, I actually don't speak about my career because I think they're quite separate. Like what I do as a hobby and what I do for a living are totally different. I'm purely a recreational runner. I'm not an elite runner. I don't earn from running. So for me, career and outdoors I try and keep them separate. Of course, I've gotten clients along the way from doing these outdoor things, but I hardly tell people what I do. I think just because of, and then I come from a profession where advertising is not allowed. Yeah, you can't advertise for your services. So so being an architect, it's mostly by word of mouth, by referral. So you just have to strive to do good work for you to be known out there. Yeah. So inspiration, lakini, is key to me. Yeah. And even sometimes just running within the city, you see other people's work. Like on weekends when I do a run, say from South Sea to Karen side, see what other architects are doing. You'll be surprised that when you drive and when you are on foot, what you see are totally different things. If you just take a walk from wherever you are to CBD and then drive from wherever you are to CBD, the thing you see are two different worlds.
Yeah, that's why you should like climb Mount Kenya, you camp, pole pole. So now you see
I shall consider that one day. One day.
You're a Salomon Kenya brand ambassador. How did you get to become an ambassador?
Yeah, so Salomon is interesting. So I was doing before I did the count. No, I was doing the counties at time. And I needed running gear. So I first approached Enda. I needed gear, but I think there was a delay in the logistics at time. So I saw Salomon advertise a shoe, a speed cross. It looked pretty cool on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, texted them like, I would want to try this shoe because I'm doing. Yeah, I just DM'd them like, I would want to try this shoe because I'm doing the counties challenge. I'm running in the counties, and I'd want to see how it performs because it looked a bit hardy. Before that, of course, I just used the normal running shoes, that road running shoes. So they're like, okay, yeah, this is where we are. And then I just slipped in the phrase, oh, I'm an ultra runner and I'm running all the counties. You can check out my profile.
Mm-hmm.
Then whoever was on the other end is like, oh, my boss is going to call you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was at JKI. We were doing some project at the airport. So I remember Sushil calling me. And of course, there were planes in the background. So I was like, can't hear you. Let me call you back.
Mm-hmm.
So he went through my profile, and I think what captivated him is the day I woke up and ran to Machakos. Well, you've all heard of the Titot samosas.
Nairobi, Machakos.
Yeah, kuna samosas za Titot zinakuanga tamu. So I decided to run to Machakos to have some samosas.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think just that captivated him. So he reached out to me the following day. We met. And the first time we met, he's like, okay, bro, we have a deal. Yeah, so that's when I started getting gear from them.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been really supportive. You know, outdoor gear is expensive.
Yeah.
And again, for some of us who sometimes do some heavy mileage, you can imagine there's a month last year I ran 800 kilometers in a month.
Sure.
It's like a whole shoe is gone within a month. Yeah, so it's come in handy because I get comfortable gear, so I can enjoy the outdoors. And you can check them out. I think they have a sale right now. Things are going for quite. I think
the shoes
and gear, clothes, bags. I think they're at 50% discount now. So that's how I met them. And again, along the way now, they've got another brand ambassadors, guys who are into trails and mountains, and it's a good team. It's guys I enjoy, and I'm learning a lot from those guys as well. Because Cheriot is a legend in his own rights. Victor is a legend. Muhia, Sylvia and his wife, Marike, Claire. Yeah, so they're guys who inspire me and push me.
I hope to have them here one day.
Sure, you should. You should. They're also crazy, yeah? Yeah, but they make me look like I'm on a lower league.
Oh, so you're the lower crazy. There's no like crazy.
Those guys are insane.
Yeah, people are still asking about your shots. Oh yeah, another question. How do you deal with your knees? Do you ever have knee problems?
Yes, actually, I played hockey in the league for the longest time because I played hockey. I've been playing hockey since 2001. Actively up until 2018. So almost 17 years of hockey. And you know hockey is quite a dangerous sport.
Yeah,
in some instances kugongana. Hizi magoti zimegongwa na balls na nini. Yeah, so I have bad knees. And that's why I never focus on running fast. I focus on running far. Yeah, because my knees can't hold much. Well, they pain sometimes. Take a break, treat them. So I really take care of my knees. I try not to push them to the limit.
Both knees. So what's taking care? Like,
I don't push it hard.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't push it hard, and I don't like running downhill. So running downhill, I always carry my hiking poles, so I can try and support them.
It's amazing how you don't push it hard now, but now if they were perfect, who would you do?
If they were perfect, you'd be going harder.
Yeah, I think that's that.
Okay.
Yeah, good. So, any message for the hiking, mountaineering world you'd like to give?
Let's get out there. Let's enjoy. Let's explore. I think Kenya has a lot to offer. If you check what South Africa is doing, the Asian countries, the Europeans, like mountain is such a common thing that you find so many guys summiting. But when you come here to Kenya, it's become like so almost elitist that if you're a mountain climber, for instance, I might not be absolutely correct, but no one knew about KG until he submitted Everest.
Yeah, he was always,
Even
under the
me
radar.
included. I learnt about him.
and he has a rich history.
Yeah, he's actually done a lot in terms of mountaineering. So yeah, let's demystify it. Let's stop making it like it's an elitist club. Let's open it for everyone.
Yeah.
So I'll call on, and then I think guys responsible for marketing these places, KWS, Kenya Tourism Board, the Mountain Club of Kenya, and other associations that deal with these things. Let's market these places. Yeah, let's own these places.
Abisa.
Yeah.
And with that, cheers to you. Cheers for coming.
Thanks for having me. And I enjoy your show, and I think it's actually something noble.
Yeah.
It's good to hear stories of other people, because you can climb the one mountain and everyone comes a totally different story. Yeah, so it's actually good, and I like, so that's why after summits I actually like listening to other guys' stories, like how did it go for you? Guys have crazy stories on, and mulikuwa tu pamoja. Yeah, so it's a great initiative.
So asante sana, asante for inspiring all of us.
Karibu.
And that's our episode. See you on the next one. Cheers.